AITA for calling out my in-law for using my recovery cash to fund her vacation. This past summer, I faced a major surgery, a lengthy, complicated procedure that required weeks in the hospital and months of follow-up. Knowing that I'd need help during recovery, I arranged to rent a spacious house by the water, complete with a pool and plenty of amenities. My hope was to create a comfortable, enjoyable environment for those friends and family who'd offered to support me in those crucial first weeks. A schedule was set, and people stepped in to assist, but in truth, it became more like a vacation for them. They had the luxury of staying in a beautiful home while simply helping me get through the basics of recovery. My late husband's sister, let's call her Jane, was the first one scheduled to help. She had been vocal about how excited she was to take care of me, and she was eager to experience the waterfront rental. However, her actions left me questioning her motives. She arrived while I was still in the hospital, enjoying the comforts of the rental and its pool, yet never once visited me during my hospital stay. Her excuse? The traffic was too heavy, so she opted out of coming to see me at all. On the day I was discharged, she wasted no time and left the rental, hurrying off without even offering to settle me in. It was clear that her help was just a thinly veiled excuse to indulge herself in a luxury stay. Before surgery, I had arranged to leave $1,000 at the rental, specifically for essentials, household items like paper products, cleaning supplies, and any emergency expenses for my dog who would be staying with me. I made sure Jane was aware that this money was meant solely for necessities to make my recovery period smoother. Imagine my shock, though, when I returned and discovered that she'd burned through the entire amount in just 6 days. Hurt and feeling undeniably taken advantage of, I decided to hold off on confronting her until I was feeling stronger. In those weeks of recovery, I wasn't answering calls or texts. My phone was off, and I focused all my energy on healing. I didn't have the mental or physical bandwidth to address the clear misuse of funds or the disrespect. Weeks later, I heard from her husband, who called to mildly reprimand me. Apparently, Jane felt slighted that I hadn't been in touch to make her feel better after she had supposedly done so much for me. Incredibly enough, he felt I should be apologizing to her for my silence. My response was brief and unapologetic. I didn't have time for such entitlement. Months later, after I'd fully recovered and returned home, Jane came by for a visit. During a relatively polite conversation, I finally decided to bring up the matter of the $1,000. I asked her directly why she thought it was appropriate to spend every last cent of what was meant for essentials. Jane, seemingly prepared, claimed she had given me receipts for everything she'd bought. That much was true. She had left a stack of receipts, but when I looked closely, they revealed her ridiculous spending choices. She had charged me for things like her personal body wash, breakfast foods, even chewing gum. When I asked about her rationale, she shifted tactics, claiming she'd used the money to stock up the kitchen. I looked around the house, incredulous. Stocked for whom? There was nothing useful left behind, just some random scraps of leftovers. Among her notes, I even found a claim for gas money. She drives an electric car. When confronted with these absurdities, she backpedaled again, saying she'd thought I was gifting her the money. I reminded her of our conversation and my specific instructions. Cornered, she switched tactics yet again, declaring that she'd treated it like her expense account. My jaw nearly dropped. Since when did she have a personal expense account at my expense? Months earlier, before all this, she had been gushing to friends about her wonderful vacation, planned at my summer rental, excited about the waterfront views and all the amenities. I now see that was her real priority all along. It's evident that this bridge is burned, and frankly, I don't see any reason to rebuild it. The audacity and lack of empathy still shock me.